In this video today, I'm going to go through 8 ways I improved my music library. If you would like 5,000 free sound effects, check the link in the description down below. So the first way I improved my music library was organizing the chaos that I first had. When you first get your music library, you have a massive mess of music. Like, you might get your music library from a friend, another DJ. You might just download a bunch of music. When you first start DJing, right, the first thing you end up doing is just downloading loads of music because you feel like you need it. But then you soon realize later on in your DJ career that half that music you downloaded, you will never play in a club. So what I had to do first was just organize everything I had. The first thing I actually did was I went through and got rid of all the YouTube rips. Now, when you first start DJing, you don't know where to get music from because you don't have someone like DJ CB telling you where to get your music from. So you'll just go to YouTube Converter, download a bunch of music, then you have it on your hard drive, but then you end up realizing that the quality of that music isn't great, then you have to end up deleting it. So what I had to do first, get rid of all the YouTube rips. And the way to figure out if you have YouTube rips or not is checking the quality of the music. Now, if you go into the bit rate of the track, you really need to have 320 kbs music. 320 kbs music is the best quality music to have as an MP3. If it's a YouTube rip, it's probably going to be 192, and now that quality isn't that great. If you was to play that on a big club system, it's going to sound terrible. So I got rid of all those YouTube rips. Then once I got rid of all those YouTube rips, I started getting rid of some duplicates. Then what I done was I started going through each and every track. Now, this is the long thing that every single DJ is going to struggle with. If you've got a music library of 10,000 tracks, you are going to need to go through each track and determine if you're going to play them or not, or even if you like them. So I went through every single track I had in my music library, literally starting from number 1 all the way until 10,000. I went through every single track and I was like, do I like this song? Yes. Do I want to keep this song? Yes. Do I want to delete this song? Yes. I was just making decisions. I was like, I'm never ever going to play these songs in the club, so why do I have them? So I just got rid of all the mess that I had. At the end of that, I had a music library that had good quality music, the songs that I was going to like to play, and then I was in a good position. And then after that, I was able to then start my music library organization journey. You cannot start your music library organization journey if you have a mess. A lot of DJs come up to me and always say to me, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do. The first thing you need to do is just organize what you already have. Don't download new music, just literally organize what you have. So go through and do what I just said, and I guarantee you'll be able to clean up the chaos, and then you can start organizing your music library properly. The next way I improved my music library was mastering metadata. Now, if you have been on my channel for however long, you're gonna know that I love metadata. You're gonna know that I love to have the title in the title, the artist in the artist, the genre in the genre, the year in the year, and then a bunch of tags to describe the track. A lot of DJs' music libraries, they will have just the title, but inside the title they'll have the artist, and then they'll have the title, then they'll have the URL that the song came from. That kind of metadata stresses me out. I have really bad OCD, so when I look at my music library, it needs to be clean. If a track does not have an artist in it, I have to populate the artist. So once I've kind of accepted that was my obsession, I started to realize that this whole metadata thing is so important to DJs. You do need to have this data in front of you to just feel a lot better when you're DJing. If you're DJing and you haven't got the correct data in front of you, you're gonna be working your brain even harder. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have to look in the title and be like, oh, who sings this song? Or you just don't need that, right? So once I realized that mastering metadata was a great way to improve my music library, my music library just started getting better and better. So again, I had to go through every single track that I had and make sure that every single track had an artist and a title. They were the 2 main things that I needed at first, right? With that, I could then do other things. Getting the years and genre. So me personally, when I done this around about 3-4 years ago, again, I went through every single track. I went to Google, I got the year of the track, and then I put it into the year column. I then went to Google and got the genre, and then put that in the genre column as well. I had to also figure out what genres I wanted in my music library as well, because I guarantee in your music library, I guarantee that you have like hip hop as a genre, then you've got hip hop rap as a genre, then you've got hip hop R&B as a genre. You don't need all these different variations. You just need to pick one. So for me, I have hip hop rap as my main hip hop genre. If I wanted to subcategorize that and put a subgenre for it, so say for example it was a hip hop R&B track, I would put that in another column just so that I don't have a mixture of columns going on in my music library, because that will just cause you so much headache. Now, doing that for 10,000 tracks took me a very long time. I wouldn't even be surprised if it took me near enough a year, because you got to think about it. Doing each track, it will probably take you about 15-20 seconds. Multiply that by 10,000, I don't know, my editor will put the calculation on the screen right now. That's how long it will take you to do your music library. Off of that, that's where Music Library Tools was born, because I don't want another DJ to have to sit there and manually do that for each and every track. So I built a tool, Music Library Tools, that will get the years and genres for the majority of your MP3 tracks to just prevent you from sitting there for hours and hours updating metadata. So Music Library Tools will literally scan your music library, get the year, get the genre, and then input it into your MP3. It's quite straightforward. For 10,000 tracks, it will take a couple of hours rather than a whole year. So yeah, once you start to master metadata and start to get all the metadata correct in your music library, it will improve your music library so much, because when you have the correct data, you can then create more and more playlists in your music library. So say, for example, you're doing a hip hop party, but you want old school hip hop and you want new school hip hop. After you have all the metadata, you can create two smart playlists. You can create a smart playlist with tracks before 2010, that's old school, and then you have a smart playlist that has all the tracks after 2010, that's new school. Within 5 seconds, you now have two playlists for that party. Whereas if you didn't have the correct metadata, you'd have to go through all your tracks and be like, oh, this is old school, drag it in. This is new school, drag it in. Nobody's got time for that. Utilize smart crates in your music library, people, and it will make your DJ sets a lot better. In order to have really good smart crates, you need to have your metadata mastered. Another way I improved my music library was implementing a smart backup process for my music library. Now, I've been there where I've organized a lot of my music and then my computers end up dying and I've lost all my music. First of all, losing your music library is terrible, but losing your music library after you spent about 2-3 months organizing it is even more headache. So what I'd done was, every time I was about to start my music library organization, I'd back up my music library. And then when I finished, I'd back it up again. So I had a little process going on there. But overall, you should have a backup solution or a backup process for your music library overall. That will help you improve it. So the way I've done it is I've connected my music folder on my DJ laptop to a Google Drive. So basically Google Drive will watch that folder. Any updates I make to that folder, whether it's adding a new song, updating some metadata, deleting a song, it will automatically update and push it to the cloud. Doing it with an external hard drive is good. Don't get me wrong. Like, if you backed up your music library and plug in your hard drive and then back it up, it is good. But everyone does that every single day. Whereas if you have a cloud solution that watches the folder all the time, you can make one small change and it will update straight away. And you ain't got to think about it. You haven't even got to think about backing up because it's done automatically. Just try and take out the thought process of having to back up, and then you'll just feel a lot better. Like, you'll have that peace of mind that any changes you make in your music library will automatically be backed up to the cloud. So if you was to go out and DJ and then your laptop gets stolen or it gets broken, you know that you can come home and your music library is in the cloud, so you can get another laptop or whatever and you can download it straight away. It's just, having a smart backup process is just a peace of mind that every DJ needs. People watching this right now, if you haven't backed up your music library, go back it up now. The last thing you want to do is lose your music library, right? So yeah, that's another thing that improved my music library, having a smart backup process. Another way I improved my music library was implementing quality control. Now, I will go on about this every single day for the rest of my life. When you are downloading new music, people, make sure that you're doing quality control. And what I mean by quality control is, when you're downloading the songs, right, have a little bit more thought process behind it. Don't just download random songs just for the sake of it because you're a DJ. Now, a lot of DJs will just be like, I need to download every single song just in case I need it. No, you don't. You're going to be DJing every Saturday, every Wednesday, whatever, right? And you're going to have a certain crowd in front of you. You know what works and what doesn't. Now, when you're downloading music from your record pools, whether you're using Heavy Hits, if you want to get it for $4.99, use the code DJCB in the checkout, or you're using Franchise Record Pool, the Mashup, DJ City, BPM Supreme, whatever one you're using, right? When you're downloading the music, listen to it for that little bit longer. Now, I know that DJs will listen to a song for about 3 seconds and be like, yep, that's it. But maybe listen to it for about 15 seconds or 20 seconds and be like, am I actually going to play this in the club? You need to ask yourself these questions when you're downloading new music. All that's going to happen is you're going to download a bunch of new music, right? And it's going to be on your hard drive and it's going to be piling up to the point where you're going to run out of memory and you're going to be like, oh, I can't download any new music now. I need to sort out my music library. Implement quality control into your downloading process, DJs. Trust me, it is going to help you out. My channel is all about music library organization, and I know you're all coming here because you have some sort of struggle with your music library. And I guarantee one of the things is you have too much music. It's because you went onto your record pools and downloaded everything under the sun way back when, and now you're trying to clean it up. But way back when, if you did quality control, you wouldn't be in this position. Do you know what I mean? So people, when you are downloading new music, just take a few more seconds to think, am I going to play this song? If it's a no, don't bother downloading it. Another way I improved my music library was creating playlists based on scenarios. Now, it could be playlists in Recordbox or it could be crates in Serato. Now, you need to organize your music based on scenarios that may happen in a club, because it's going to help you out a lot. Like, a lot of people struggle with reading the crowds and stuff like that. If you have the correct crates in your music library, it makes reading the crowd and executing a lot easier. Let me give you an example. So you're DJing, right? And a bunch of girls come on the dance floor. So you need to read the room. You look at the dance floor and there's a bunch of girls on the dance floor. So the best thing to do is have a crate for girls or ladies, and then you can jump straight into that and then DJ from that. In that crate, it will have TLC No Scrubs, Beyonce Single Ladies, Beyonce Love on Top, Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat, all those kind of tracks, right? And then you'll be in that folder and you'll be playing song after song after song, and it will be keeping the girls happy. Now, that's one scenario that you're going to have covered in your music library. Now, think of another scenario. I know that a lot of you may play in some clubs where there's a load of guys in the middle of the dance floor that wants to mosh pit, or they want to put their gum fingers up. So why don't you make a crate for that, like hype men or hype man, right? So then in that playlist, you'll have stuff like Pop Smoke Dior, Jumpman, Drake, Future, etc. So then when you see a bunch of guys in the middle of the dance floor wanting to get rowdy, jump into that crate. Then you also want to have crates for warm up, warm down, opening, main set, all those kind of things. Once you have all these different scenarios sorted out into your music library, it's going to make your life a lot easier. It's going to take out all the thought process that you need to do when you're DJing. As DJs, we have a million things going on in our heads. We have a million decisions to make. So the last thing we want to do is be scrolling through your music library, looking for this, looking for that. You don't want to do that. You want to look at the dance floor and be like, I have a crate for that. I know there's a lot of DJs watching here that maybe have never been in a club, but I have a bunch of crates on Crate Hackers. Check the link in the description down below. That covers a lot of scenarios for you, so check them out. But you need to go to your club and think about scenarios that you've been in. There's been a time where you're like, I wish I had a playlist for this, or I wish I had these tracks for this and this and that. Like, you need to just pre-prepare yourself. Once you pre-prepare yourself for a DJ set, you're going to be laughing. Like, I done a set in Newcastle about a month ago. Now, I didn't do any planning. I didn't do anything. I literally went to the club, opened up my laptop, looked at the crowd, and I was like, okay, there's a bunch of girls on the dance floor and it's main set. Let me play my girls' main set folder. So I went into tracks like Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red, all like that. And then the crowd went mad. A lot of DJs think they got a plan before their DJ set. They'll plan out their entire set. If you do that, you might end up in a bad position, and I'll tell you why. What if you plan for a DJ set? You're sat at home planning for a DJ set that you've never been to before. You get there and it's not exactly what you planned. Now you're stressed because you spent all that time planning at home and now you don't have a correct set. But if you have all the scenarios kind of in a club, you can go to the club and determine what kind of scenario it is and then play that track. So once I started to implement like smart playlist curation in my music library, it improved it so much, people. Another thing that improved my music library was making my music library a lot more diverse. Now, when I first started DJing, all I wanted to do was play old school R&B and old school hip hop, because that's the music that I like and that's how I got into DJing. But as you kind of progress through your DJ career, you realize that you need to start playing more genres to get more gigs. The less genres you play, the less opportunities you get. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, if you want to kind of do more DJ sets, you want to be booked every single weekend and stuff like that, you are going to need to broaden your genre knowledge. I came into this DJ thing to play R&B and hip hop, but then people were like, you need to play house, you need to play maybe a little bit of drum and bass, you need to play some commercial tracks. And I was like, I'm not playing that. And then I realized that I wasn't getting the DJ sets because I was being so stubborn. Once I opened up and I was like, you know what, let me play a little bit of house, let me play a little bit of this, let me play a little bit of pop, let me play a bit of commercial, the opportunities became a lot better and a lot more, because you'd go to, you'd inquire to a club and they'd be like, what genres do you play? And you'd be like, house, this and that. And they'd be like, oh, great, you can play anything then. Whereas if you say, oh, I just play one genre, they're like, oh, well, our crowd kind of likes a mix of everything. That's what you're going to hear a lot. Our crowd like a mix of everything, because you're going to go to a town and it's going to be, there's going to be some mums in there, there's going to be a young crowd in there, there's going to be some guys in there, there's going to be some 18-year-olds in there. It's going to be a mixture of people, so you need to cater for different people. If you only know one genre, it's going to be hard to cater to those people. Also, if you can do multi-genre and open format, you can then do birthday parties and weddings and corporate events. It just opens up the opportunities for you. So a lot of you are watching. I guarantee most of you like house music or maybe some drill or some hip hop. Open up your mind a little bit more. Now, when you go into all these different genres, you don't need to download every single song. Just get the top 50. Go onto Spotify and just go top 50 house tracks, top 50 drum and bass tracks. They're all you need. You don't need to know all the back catalog of the genre. Like, I don't have a massive drum and bass folder. I don't have a massive house folder. I just have a house folder just in case I need to play it. So don't think that you need to dive deep into the genre and you need to know everything. Just get the top tracks, and I guarantee it will open up more opportunities for you, and it will improve your music library because you're going to have different folders and different genres that you can play from, and you're going to feel a lot better as a DJ playing open format because you're going to get a lot more opportunities. The more opportunities that you get as a DJ, the happier you're going to be. So another way I improved my music library was opening up my music portfolio. Portfolio, is that the word? Open up my music collection to having more genres. Another way I improved my music library was networking with other DJs who play those genres. Now, in the previous point, I did say that you need to broaden your music horizon and stuff like that. Now, if you know a DJ that's really good at dancehall, go to their event, go see them play. Don't ask to play, just go there and see them play because different genres get played differently. Now, if you want to play dancehall, right, you're going to realize that playing dancehall isn't that easy. If you go and watch someone like DJ Levels, right, he plays to a dancehall crowd and he plays in a specific way. Not anyone can just play to a dancehall crowd, let me tell you that, right? Once I started to network and go to different events and hear these different DJs played, it started to make me think that when I play these certain genres as an open format DJ, I can play in that kind of way, right? Because each genre has their own play technique. Like you like for dancehall, I know I keep using dancehall as an example, but like in a dancehall rave, you can't just do 4-bar intros and 8-bar mixes and just mix at the chorus. And I'm telling you, you can't do that. You as an open format DJ can't go to a dancehall event, right, and play how you've been playing in your commercial venue down the road. I'll tell you that now. Dancehall events need quick paces, quick changes, multiple juggling between rhythms and stuff like that. There's a whole load of different things that you need to do when you play dancehall. And it's probably going to be the same if you play house and a piano. Like for house, you want to let the songs mix for longer. You need to make sure that you mix in key. You need to make sure that you build up to the drop. There's so many different ways to play these genres. So if you go and network with other DJs, you can start to figure out how to play these genres, and you can just understand what songs work in a club as well. Because you as an open format DJ, like I said, you don't need to know the ins and outs of the tracks, but if you go to these events and network with the DJs, you're going to see what works in the club. Then you can go home, download those tracks, and then use them in your club sets. Like, I know a lot of DJs don't like networking, right? But in order for you to improve yourself, improve your music library, you're going to have to get out there. Now, I know a lot of DJs work at the weekend, so what you could do is listen to the DJ's live mixes. So if you can't get to the club, when you're driving to your club set or you're driving back or you're home or whatever, put on a DJ's live set. And I guarantee it will be good for you because you get to hear what's actually playing in those clubs and those events. So make sure you do that. If you want to check out some of my live mixes, check the link in the description down below. I have a bunch of live mixes for when I play my residency. Now, my residency is open format. I play house, I play R&B, hip hop, dancehall, Afrobeats, amapiano, commercial, R&B, hip hop. Have I covered them? Yeah. I play everything. So if you want to know how to play everything for 6-7 hours, check the links in the description down below. Another way I improved my music library was trial and error and continuous learning and adaptation. Now, you're going to organize your music library at home, right? But you're not going to know if it works until you get to the club. So then you're going to get to the club and something's not going to work how you expected it. You're going to go home and you're going to tweak it, and a week after you're going to go back and try it again. That's just how it is. You're not going to get everything perfect at home. You might spend 2 weeks at home, right? Then go to a club, and all that 2 weeks could have been for nothing because you need to have that club experience, right, to know if it's going to work. So you might build a playlist for the ladies, right? And you take it to the club, you're like, oh, do you know what? I need some more fast-paced music to get them dancing, or I need some more sing-alongs. You'll go home, you'll update that crate, you'll go back the week after, and it works. Then you'll go into another scenario. You'll be like, oh, right, so I've made this playlist for the guys to get them hype in the middle of the dance floor, but all the songs weren't that great. So you go home, you fix it, come back, and the week after, now everyone's on the dance floor with their gum fingers all moshing. Then you might get to warm down. Your tracks for warm down weren't good enough. You then tweak it, you can then go home, tweak it, come back to the club, and it's perfect. So what you need to realize is your music library is just an ongoing process that you're gonna need to keep adapting every single week. No one has a perfect music library. Like, they have a nice clean music library, but no one's music library is perfect, because I still go to the club now and I still have things that I need to fix. So no one's music library is perfect. So what you need to realize is that this whole music library thing is just an ongoing thing that's gonna happen for the whole entire of your DJ career. You just have to accept it, right? But one thing that did help me improve was just doing trial and error. When you go to your DJ set, write down what didn't work, take it home, apply it, and then go back to the club. That way, you'll improve your music library and you'll just have a better music library overall. Right, so that was 8 ways I improved my music library. Now that you've watched this video, check this video out here.